18th and 19th. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the GPS Mastermind Group. The Mastermind call today is with the Godfather, Fred DeFalco. Y'all are in for a treat. He's been away for a couple of months. A little birdie told me that it's also his birthday today. So in every opportunity, let's make sure that we let him know we love him. We're glad he's been here. He is a ripe age of 50 years old and has just had a very challenging life. That's why and perhaps wife too. Oh, Fred, I'm sorry, Godfather. We'll get right back to that. Let's get this started though with some housekeeping. I want to make sure we are on point with this. Tina Valiant is doing her class on task tension. That is a 2-day workshop. It is invaluable. The link will be dropped in here. We'll bring it up towards the end as well so we can let the Godfather just run with it. You want to attend this. It's 2 days, Monday and Tuesday on the 18th and 19th. I can't emphasize how valuable this was. I flew to Phoenix for this as well. For some of you on this call, you're getting some messages about a call we have Thursday at 2 o'clock. You know who you are. You are the top of the top, and it's a very specific call. Look for that text message later this afternoon, somewhere around the noon time, and we'll see you Thursday. Make sure it's on your calendar. It is by invite only. Joe, what do you got?
Good morning, guys. For the classes, we only have one class today. That would be Icon series from 0 to 100 plus transactions per year. That would be at 10 a.m. Eastern in the Icon Theater.
Outstanding. I appreciate that greatly. Y'all remember, one of the things that I'm a fanatic about is learning, and you have got to be learning based through your entire career because it's always going to change. If you are not focused and putting some time and effort and putting it on your schedule to learn something, well, you already are. You're here. This is what this is all about. It's continuing to grow our business and grow our success. And remember, your health has a lot to do with that as well. That just came to me because I'm sitting here drinking my gallon of water, and today is my fasting day. Thank you again, Godfather. You did it once more for me. I'm going to shut up because yay. Fred DeFalco's back in town. Thank God, Fred. So good to see you at the summit. I miss you, man. Holy cow. What a treat. Let's see. I can't even see him. Where's the Godfather? Oh, he's in his room. I think he probably ran out for a second. Y'all see him. He's like over there in that corner.
Hey,
there we go. The Godfather's in. All right. Well, we're just going to rock and roll with this one right now. Let's go. Mr. Fred DeFalco, 50 years old today. Happy birthday, Godfather.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
One second.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I promised you if you all showed up, I was going to give you a gift, okay? And it's my favorite birthday song because it reminds me of life, okay? So that's my gift to you for showing up. I told you I'd give you a gift, so here you go. You ready? It's called the Vegetable Song, and I believe it's great for birthdays and weddings and funerals. It's good for everything because it's all about life. So here's my gift to you. Avocado garden in my heart, that mushrooms with love whenever you show up. So I'll sing that. You ready? Avocado garden in my heart, that mushrooms with love whenever you show up. And nothing matters to me if it's okra with you. Let us never squash our love. How I radish the thoughts of beans with you. And how my artichoke skips a beat, 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 beat. But nothing matters to me if it's okra with you. Let us never squash our love. You see, it's just an old-fashioned folk song.
Great.
It takes partially you and partially me to make asparagus. Won't you cucumber to me, my melancholy babe? Let us never squash our love. There's your gift. See, aren't you glad you showed up early?
That's recorded. That's recorded. That was awesome.
That's the vegetable song. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know, one thing I never want to say about George, and that is that he is, you know, not being factual and truthful with you. I am 68 today and very proud of that. I'm a very proud 68. But again, you know, the older I get, the more I read, the more I study, I realize this time is just an illusion. There is no such thing as time, right? So 68, 28. I'd rather be 68 and wise than I was when I was 28 and dumb. So, and it doesn't matter whether I wouldn't want to be anyway, right? So your birthdays are really interesting. You know, and then when we talk about time, especially when you hear people say, oh my gosh, and every one of us on here have done it. Oh, if only I was 25 again. You know, what would you do if you were 25 again? No, but I mean 25 and I know what I know now. Well, as a good mentor taught me, Fred, you know what you know now. Age is an illusion. You know what you know now. So do it now, today. And that is this new series I'm starting called Inside Out Agent. And it's just not just inside out agent. All of us need to learn to live life from the inside out. And because that's where life is. It's on the inside, not the outside. It's not in money. It's not in fame. It's not in fortunes. It's not in anything. It's not in another person, even though we all think that. It's got to be inside. So that's the message for today. And I think when I put down for Tiffany, I said, what did I say? Raw, ripping and real or something. The older you get, sometimes along with that comes a little bit more insistence upon those that you are trying to provide some leadership for to like speed it up a little bit, okay? Because you realize how many opportunities you've maybe missed. And, you know, there's a sign here. I don't know if you can see this. No, you can't see this one. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So anyway, so be patient with me. If you're on this call today and I don't offend you, I haven't done you justice. If I don't offend, or at least make you feel like I offended you, I won't offend you, because you can only be offended if you give me permission, right? So, but if I don't make you like feel like, wow, I can't believe he said that, so then I'm not doing my job. And that is, you know, I've been doing this social media post. I love making agents money. I've been doing it for I'm going in my 45th year. Today was kind of when I was turned 23, when I said, I got to do something different. I've got to do something different. My father started buying some investment properties. You know, get your real estate license. And, you know, it's 8th grade dropout, already married, had married until I was 18, 23-year-old. She already had a 5 years, turning 6 years old. And then I had another child already, and then a second one on the way of my own. So that would have been 3. And I said, you know, this labor job I have just not going to cut it, I don't think. So anyway, I got my license at 23 years old. And it was right around this time where I said, I've got to do something different. So I'm going in my 45th year. And I tell people at the GPS Summit, I said the same thing. I kid people and I go, they say, how long have you been in the business? And I go, no, about 88 years. And they go, and they smile, right? I said, no, I'm serious, about 88 years. And I mean that, and I say that with confidence. I say it with pride. I've worked just double, triple, quadruple harder than anyone I've ever met in the industry. And I also have tackled so many areas of the industry. My first year, my GRI, my CRS, my CRB. CRB is Certified Residential Broker Management. And so I really took it serious by being surrounded, and I'm going to mention that a little bit today when we talk about time and what we do with it, but by surrounding myself, reading the right things and surrounding myself with the right people. So anyway, I'm excited. It's a big day for me, 68. I'm so happy and proud of that. 2 more years than what my father got so far. And my goal is to get 30 more than he got, maybe 40. So anyway, I want to share just some of my heart with you today and get you thinking. Any leader, you know, you can lead a horse to water, can't make them drink, but then they say you can put salt in the oats. Well, I can put salt in your oats, and that's still not going to work. That's not going to work. It's bigger than that, and it's more than that. I've got to somehow raise your level of thinking and convince you you've got to stop this living from the outside in, and that your life is just a meaning based upon what is on the outside versus what's already on the inside. And it's there. It's been there since you got here, and it's going to be there when you leave, and you're going back to it. And that is love. And that is all those good things that keep calling you, but we don't listen a lot of times. So I want to get people to live from the inside out. And so let me just get into that. And I hope you enjoyed your gift. Did you enjoy your gift for the singing? But the inside out. So let me just start out with this. It takes the mindset. Now, you know, on a lot of the Wednesday calls that I used to do, it was called Soulful Wednesday. And a lot of it had to do with mindset. We talked about it. Well, what good is mindset if you don't have skill set? Is Tom Martin on the call? Is Tom on the call? Tom is the master of skill set.
Yeah, I'm here.
Tommy. Hey, buddy.
How are you? Happy birthday, my friend.
Hey, thank you. Tommy is our skill set guy. I mean, you just gotta love him. And if you're missing Fridays with Tom Martin, it's a mistake. If you don't have Tom Martin as your personal coach, you know, he has a coaching service. I think it's a mistake because the guy, or if not Tom, another coach. We all need coaches. I've had coaches all my life, and some very, very good and great coaches. But anyway, so you have the mindset, you have the skill set. Now there's another set you got to have, and this is what I want to talk about today. And this is where I'm really ripping because so many people do not do the following set. The next set, you know, you show up at the meeting, you get Tom, and you come to the business planning meeting, you come to Fred with the Soulful Wednesdays. Oh yeah, this is great, and I get all these compliments. That was wonderful. Oh my gosh, it was inspirational. And see you 4 months later, 5 months later, you're fizzling. You're fizzling. What happens? You know, one of my favorite authors, he was known as the father of modern psychology, William James. Write that down. William James. He needs to be your mentor. Even though he's gone, he can be your mentor. William James, the father of modern psychology. He said, everyone is familiar with the phenomenon of feeling more or less alive on different days. Everyone knows on any given day that there are energies slumbering in him, her, which the incitements of that day do not call forth. But which he might display if these were greater. Most of us feel as if a sort of cloud weighed upon us, keeping us below our highest notch of cleverness in discernment, sureness in reasoning, or firmness in deciding. Compared with what we ought to be, we are only half awake. Our fires are damped, our drafts are checked. We are making use of only a small part of our possible mental, physical resources. Stating the thing broadly, the human individual, you, me, all of us, the human individual thus lives far within his limits. He possesses powers of various sorts, which he habitually fails to use. Did that just describe some of you? It described me perfectly. And, you know, this is what Inside Out's all about. And this set, this third set, is what it takes to not be this poem or to be this writing. So in the chat box, whoever can tell me what that set is, I want you then to text me your home address because I'm sending you a gift if you get it. So it takes a mindset. It takes the skill set. What's the third one? Don't shout it out. Just start putting your answers in the chat box. I need to know the third set you need. What is the third set? Growth set. Keep going. Only one so far. Come on, let's go. Lean set. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Good to see you. Action set. Learning set. Not yet. Thank you, Latanya. Happy birthday. Thank you. But I want to see that set. Movement set. That's a good one, but that's not it. Sasha, that was good. What's the next set? Come on, guys. Come on, let's go. Come on. I'm not going to tolerate only 4 answers. Come on. What's the other set? Tony, what's the other set? Knowledge set, motivation set? No, not yet. Not yet. No one's got it yet. Consistency set? No. Commitment set? Jump set. Tom, where are you? What's the last set here, man?
Skill set, mindset.
No, time set. No, almost. Come on, let's go. Mental set. Oh my gosh, belief set. Anastasia, that's a good answer. The follow-up set. Okay, that's a good one. Tool set. No. All right. And now you want to know why this is happening? Right? Because we don't get it. We don't get it. How many of you have attended my Soulful Wednesdays? What is the soul made up of? What is the soul made up of? The mind, the blank, and the emotions. What is it made up of? The soul. Mind. See, you guys, come on. You attended all the Soulful Wednesdays. Mind, will, and emotions, right? The mind, will, and emotions. So it's a will set. You gotta have the will set. And this is what we lack. We lack the will set. We go around sucking our thumb, as my good friend CharlieTremendousJones, who wrote this book, Life is Tremendous. And by the way, his daughter, he went home a long time ago, 12 years ago now. We finally reconnected. She's running the called Tremendous Books. You're going to be hearing a lot about this. She's going to be involved with the EXP all through her workplace. But she's my first interview on the Inside Out Agent. Wait till you see that. And we talked about this will set. And her father used to say, you know, we all run around, you know, he had some very interesting names he would call people in public. You know, thumb sucking, crybabies, and we don't have that will set. So that's what it takes. So the Inside Out Agent is about having all three of these. And not only do you get the right mindset and understand who you really are, you also show up and you get the skills that you need. And then you also, by the way, the skills only need basic skills. Folks, I've had people come in and couldn't even speak English and go out and take 10 listings in 1 month. My friend Luigi over in Clearwater, Florida, when I took over Coldwell Banker, the west coast of Florida, 1,000 agents. Luigi comes in, he leads the entire company in listings in his first 3 months. He couldn't speak English, literally. Literally, he had a basic skill set. You know what the basic skill set was? Knocking on doors. And they say, you sell your house, so what? And they say, what? He said, I sell your house. And he went out listing. So your skill set, because a lot of times you'll be the very basics, but the better you want to grow your business, of course, they got to be more, and you got to do business plan and all that. But without the will set, forget all this stuff. A mindset won't work. The skill set won't work. You've got to have the will set. You've got to have the will set. So on my birthday, I'm just going to reflect on some things that's been very important to me in my life. I don't know if you can see this chart. I'll just read it out to you. It's not real important. Can you see this? Time. Can you see that? Time? Okay, so I want to talk about time. Time is just an illusion, right? It really is. You didn't think about time 100 years ago, did you? Are you going to be thinking about time 100 years from now? I don't think so. So what is time? It's just a measurement that we use, right? You know, it's just a measurement system that we use, but it's very important. And I don't know if you realize, but I got some news to break to all of you. I'm terminal, and so are you. So are you. Sometimes it's sad. I just had a sister die from pancreatic cancer. It's just a healthy soul, beautiful soul. In 7 months, she was gone. What? So what? I am too. And when I say so what, I miss my sister. I mourn for her. I catch myself crying, you know, just unexpectedly. And I miss her because she was my buddy. She was 5 years older than I was. And you know, I have her picture, and I have some ashes up here that my other sister gave me in a little cross and things. It's sad, but guess what? It's sad for all of us. So when we talk about time, we got to get real. Time is we got so much of it. So we got to use it effectively. So 5 years from today, you will be the same person you are today, except for two things. And I learned this from CharlieTremendousJones. That was his favorite quote. Fred, 5 years from today, and he would put his finger in your chest. He'd put it in your face. Listen to me. 5 years from the day, you will be the same person, except for two things, and two things only. The people you meet and the books you read. The people you meet and the books you read. And Charlie was so right. I love Charlie. Thank you, CharlieTremendousJones. If you want to get a book, Life is Tremendous. It's a little book about this thick. You can hold off because I'm going to be buying these from the thousands. We're going to get involved with EXP with a customized cover and everything else. But it's just, you know, it's so true. 5 years from the day, you're going to be the same person you are today, except for two things. The people you meet and the book you read. Now, one of the things that you got to do with all the people you meet, because we're in the, we're talking to a group of real estate professionals this morning. So everybody you meet, you need to take their name. You need to take their number. You need to get to know a little bit about them. You need to really care. You need to take a personal interest in them, and you need to put them in your database. Because 5 years from today, I called a customer of mine because I was out of the brokerage for about 8 years, 7 or 8 years, doing my real estate investing, and I had a big fund, and I had stuff in 5 states, and apartment complexes, a hotel, all this other kind of stuff. So I got out of the brokerage business, active about 7 years. I had to call one of my customers, $12 million worth of real estate. She did personally in the years that I was gone. Now, one of my family members should have done that. I have a Tony, I have a Fred, I have an Angel, I have, but anyway, to one person. Then you may say, well, Fred, that's because you live in the area, it's a little bit more expensive houses. Yeah, probably. However, most people, when you add it up, do anywhere from $1 million to $3 million in that kind of time frame. So you make sure the people you meet, you take their name, you take their number, you follow up with them. I said something about the basics. All you need is the basics in this business to do really well with your time. And one of the basics is your sphere of influence, is to have your database. I got on someone again yesterday. They sit down with me. They said, Fred, you got to help me. I said, I'm here. What do you need? Well, I want to come in and see you. Good. Let's sit down. They come in, they have these notes. What farm should I do? What farm should I do? I almost was tempted to take it and rip it up. I was almost, but I didn't. I was nice. I was polite. Inside, I ripped it up though. And I said to her, I said, when are you going to get it? You don't need a farm to be successful. And I know this agent. I said, show me your database right now. Open up your laptop and show me your database. Open up your laptop and show me your Oh, I don't have my laptop. You're a real estate professional and you're out. What happens if you got an opportunity to get a listing call? I said, in your database, be really honest with me. If I opened it up and looked at your KV Core or whatever CRM you're using, what would it look like? I've only been here a year and I'm really working on it. Well, you don't work on stuff. You do it. That's a will set. But yes, she wants to go start a farm and she's not even taking care of the very basic thing out of this business, and that is your sphere of influence. So she's wasting time. And here it is a year later, she's ready to go spend money on farming. You don't do that until you do the very basic. And that is, you have your sphere of influence together. If any of us on the call this morning don't have our sphere of influence organized and in a way, and in a database, well, I don't care whether it's KV Core or any CRM you want to use, you just stop everything else you're doing until that's done. And I'm going to give you another gift. Any of you could show me your database and you have at least 40 people in your sphere of influence list. You have at least 40 in your sphere of influence list with their name, their address, their telephone number, and their email. And you call and you say, hey, Fred, I want to show off. I want to show off. I want to brag. I want to be proud. I look at this. I want to show you my database. If you do that, I'm going to give you my calendar link that I'm available 7 days a week, many hours a day to work with you personally and coach you to take that and double your business in your very first year. I promise you, I will double, quadruple your business if you have that basic done. So that's my birthday gift to you. If you can, here's my cell number. You have my email. Email's better. Email me and say, hey, Fred, all right, send me your calendar link. I have my 40. I'm going to show you. And then I will let you have my calendar link for the next 12 months. And I will get you your double, your quadruple of your business if you do those 40. And the other thing, I know this is non-denominational, broker specific, but talking to us that are on the EXP Realty team, on your rev share, which is residual income, I will show you how to get minimum 10 people in the next 3 years. And that will bring up to $150,000 to $200,000 residual income a year if you get your database right. Okay? So that's my gift to you. Let's talk about time. Number one, time blocking. Time blocking. Every single one of you on the call, please, 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 right now, stop. You can go right to your computer. I want you to go to Sunday's a good day, but if Sunday's too busy for you, then choose Saturday. But I want you to make an appointment with yourself called life planning for 30 minutes, either on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday night, Sunday night is usually a good time. 30 minutes you never miss with yourself. No one gets to call you. No one gets to talk to you. No one gets, there's a television on. I want you to donate to give yourself a gift of 30 minutes a week of taking time serious. Folks, I've lived 68 years. Do you know how many days that is? That's not even 25,000 days. It's not long, man. We don't get long. But you want to double it? I feel like I've lived 150 years with all my experiences and the things I've done and the things I've tried and the things I've learned and, you know, from the people I've met and the books that I've read. Time is, you could quadruple your time. Because if you will time block just 30 minutes a week on Sunday nights, that's only for you, nobody else. Now, after you do that 30 minutes by yourself, you want to call your partner in or your spouse or your significant other or your child or somebody that's your why or your grand and say, hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to plan something? Now, in that 30 minutes, what you're going to do, you're going to evaluate your life for that week. See, we can only handle life, you know, a bite size at a time. Life by the inch is a cinch. Life by the yard is hard. It's hard. I can't do a yard at a time. You know, it just, it makes me want to go drink or it makes me want, you know, only by the inch. People say, Fred, how do you take on so many things and get involved in so many other things and nonprofit, some of the other stuff I do? I just take it by the inch. I time block. And that 30 minutes, that is your time. I want you to evaluate your previous week. I want you to say, did I take any time to myself? I want you to evaluate, did you go around the block and walk a few times if that's all you can do? Or did you work consistent? Just evaluate your life. What did Socrates say? That was our Soulful Wednesdays theme. The unexamined life is not worth living. And most of us don't examine our own lives. Why? Every Sunday, please, Sunday night or Saturday, whatever you want to choose, block it, make it recurring, put a thing in there. And if you miss it, you make sure you don't go to bed until you do it. 30 minutes for you. I hear people, oh, you don't understand. I've got 3 kids. I got this. Oh, you don't understand. And stop sucking your thumb. Examine your freaking life. Examine it. And if you can't do it, call some people in. There's plenty of people that will help you. Trust me. And I've had a habit of that all my life. I say, hey, let me ask you a question. I need some outside, really be candid with me. What do you think about this? What do you think of what I did? What do you think I said? Examine your life. Examine it. Watch what happens. If you start getting into Socrates' philosophy, I used to say on Soulful Wednesdays with us, I said, that philosophy calls Socrates his life. They actually sentenced him to death because he would teach young people to examine their life. He would teach them to question life. Thank God for CharlieTremendousJones that told me, Fred, you will be the same person you are today, except for 2 things, the books you read and the people you meet. And some of the books I've read, I mean, the complete works of Oswald Chambers. You know, this is more from a spiritual perspective. The Parousia, a book wrote in the 1800s that revolutionized my theology and the nonsense belief system that I've been handed down by a very well-organized religious machine. The Parousia, written in the 1800s, it revolutionized my thinking. Man's Search for Meaning, you know, from the concentration camps. This came from the concentration camps. So that helps you examine your life. Reading helps you examine your life. But that 30 minutes, please give a gift to yourself. Please, come on, participate here. Put in the chat box, say, I've scheduled my 30 minutes. I've scheduled my 30 minutes. The unexamined life is not worth living. Quit the real estate business. Go get an RV. Live out of the, what do they call it? Off of the grid. The one guy was on YouTube. He's traveling the United States, living out of the dumpsters and stuff. Dude, you know, stop playing games. If you don't want to do the work, if you don't want the will set, if you don't want to examine your life, then just go around and be a hippie. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, I know a few. You're having fun. But if that's not, you can't say, I want this and you don't have it. I asked people, what do you want? They said, I want lots. Lots? Is that vacant lots? You know, what do you mean you want lots? What's that mean? We have to stop being a wandering generality and be a specific. We have to have specificity. And the only way you get specificity is by self-examination. Folks, there's 70% of my week I don't like, as far as some of it myself. I have self-awareness, I have self-love and all that, but I'm saying, I look at it and I go, oh my gosh, but that 30%, woo, man, it's pretty damn good. That's all you need. It's like playing baseball. A baseball player, if they go start hitting 300 average, which means they only hit the ball 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, I mean, they get a 300 average, they start getting paid very well. You don't need to hit 100%. You won't hit 100%. It won't happen. So time, that's so important, that time block. And how many of you, let me see, you've set an appointment with yourself? Okay. Have you? In your calendars. Recurring. Thank you. All right. In your calendar, you need electronic calendars so it dings you and reminds you and sends you reminders. Success. Let's talk about success. In my 68 years, success is such an illusion. It's such an illusion. I don't know anybody that's successful, but everybody I meet is successful. Now that's kind of schizophrenic, isn't it? If I say in the chat, not those of you who attended my session at the GPS Summit, but those that didn't attend, on a scale of 1 to 10, taking your life, where you are today, your finances, your health, your physical health, your money, savings in the bank, on a scale of 1 to 10, how successful are you? Where would you label yourself? Put it in the chat box. On a scale of 1 to 10, how successful are you? Come on, put it in the chat box. Put it in the chat box. Come on. I think people are multitasking. 5, 5, 8, 8, 8. Okay. Keep going. Some more. 7, 6, 5, 8, 4, 7, 8, 8. Okay. Folks, I just did to you what I did to the people at the GPA. Someone said 3. I just did to you what people have been doing to you all your life. And what you've been doing to you all your life. Categorizing yourself. That's not success. Finances, physical shape. It's none of that is success. None of that is success. Success is only when you learn to live from the inside out. When you realize that it's already in here. You need to expose yourself to Attitudinal Healing International. Teach only love. Because Attitudinal Healing International, that's where it comes from. It's only all about love. We came from love. We're going back to love. And we're here to figure this love out while we're here. You are successful. Everybody is successful. God does not make junk. Now, we're programmed to be junk. And I won't go into this whole Soulful Wednesday thing and that we used to do, but we're made up as we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but we've been programmed to be human beings, and then the spiritual thing, let's take care of it later, right? But we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and us as spiritual beings are perfect. And we're perfect. We're not flawed. Now people, oh, you're bordering on that theology stuff there, Fred. Yeah, I am. Absolutely. Because it's a lie that we're condemned and cursed and that original sin and all that stuff. And I don't want to get into different people's belief system, but you know what? We have got all this BS in our life that's not real. This book, written in the 1800s, helped me dump so much of my BS. Where I understood I now could be wise. I now understood I could be full of light. Even though I'm very pitiful in some of my practices at the time or whatever else may have been going on physically, because nothing can touch the perfect spirit that we've been given by God himself. And for those of you that are exposed to Christianity or Catholicism, that Christ guaranteed that we are whole. And that's everybody. I used to teach people they had to be saved. My whole message is different now. Whoa, you're saved. You just don't know it. I'm so effective with people who have these major life issues when I start telling them, you're perfect. There's nothing to change. You just got to recognize you got to live from the inside out. Every struggle we have is because we think there's something wrong with us. I tell you in the Soulful Wednesdays we used to do, 96 pages of psychological disorders the industry has come up with. We are obsessed there's something wrong with us when there's nothing wrong with us. Nothing. Every single one of us are perfect. Every single one of us have came here. We came here with love that's perfect. We leave here with love that's perfect. And that includes Saddam Hussein and Hitler. And people go, Fred, you've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. Guarantee you it was there. It was just that they were programmed by other human beings. There was something wrong with them. And guess what? They've never proved them wrong. I had someone tell me the other day, and matter of fact, CharlieTremendousJones did an interview of some of the people that were in life, sentenced to life in prison on death row. And then he would interview people like big athletes, and he would always ask the question, what got you to where you are today? The same question he would ask an athlete, the same, really big athlete. Same question he would ask someone that's on death row. Do you know the answer was the same? Identical. Identical. The people who were famous, made a lot of money, high-end sport, they said, you know, I really think when I was a little guy, my father used to tell me, son, one day you're going to be a famous quarterback. Do you know what the guy on death row said? You know, I guess when I was young, my father told me, son, you're going to either end up in prison for life or you're going to end up dead the way you're going. See, neither one of them disappointed their father, did they? So we're programmed, folks, and we got to understand success is not on a level of 1 to 10. It's there. You're perfect. You're exactly who God created you to be. You just are not practicing your creativeness. That's why we get frustrated. That's why we get depressed, because we're not practicing who we truly are. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, your highest calling. So inside out. So don't ever again let anyone ask you, are you successful? You know, when I did this at the GPS Summit, I had people standing in the corners of the room. Really interesting. The average was about average. The people 4, the 6, and the 3. There's only one person that was a 1. And then there was 1 or 2 people that stood over and knew where the 10 was. And I thought, isn't this interesting? The girl with the 1, I wish I would have had time to talk to her. By the way, Tiffany, if you remember who that girl was, and I asked her to come up, I forgot her name. I need her name and her email, please. I meant to follow up with her. Remember when I did that thing at the GPS Summit, Tiffany? I got to find who that was, the 1, because I want to spend some time with her. But I told everyone, I think maybe she might be the most successful person in the room, the 1, because she's recognized and she's examining herself, right? So anyway, that's about success. Let's go on to the next subject here. One of the things that I finally got me about 6 years when I realized I lived my entire life, and a lot of my motivation was because I felt I wasn't good enough. I didn't know that. That was underlying. It's because I got into the self-examination course that blew me away, and didn't realize that my entire life was based upon all my success. What people term success was based on, because I was just driven because I didn't think I was good enough, right? And then I end up burning up 45 years or 40 some years of wealth building and you know, the things that started accumulating, because a lot of it because I wasn't good enough. I didn't realize the underlying, there's really deep stuff, but it's very good stuff. But so success is the inside out, but then the good hand, one of the keys, Oswald Chambers says this. Oswald Chambers says success in life or real life does not come from being dealt a good hand. It comes from playing a poor hand well. Folks, I have not met one person in my life that's been dealt a good hand. The ones that have been, you would think, that got the quote silver spoon and the good hand, their life's a wreck. A lot of times. So none of us have been dealt a good hand. Success is what? If someone, do give me a birthday present. If you can finish my quote for me. I've been saying it for 2.5 years. Success is... Finish my quote for me, please. Somebody give me a birthday present. Success is the artful management of failures and setbacks. Who said that? Tiffany. All right. All right, Tim. Thank you. Success is the artful management of failures and setbacks. Folks, when you realize that life is not about trying to achieve something, it's the journey. And in success, I guess you see this. You know, success is, you know, it's mistakes, it's failures, it's rejections, it's frustrations, it's insults. Learn to love this stuff. Learn to love it. And when you have a difficult customer, we are teachers and learners of each other, says the Course in Miracles. We are teachers and learners of each other, says Attitudinal Healing International. That's one of the 12 principles. So you will never meet somebody and go, oh, what an oddball he is, you know. I hope this conversation ends pretty quickly. I can't stand this person. Any of you ever had those thoughts when you talk to somebody? Come on, be honest. But when you start having that attitude that we are learners and teachers of one another and that we're in it together and they're connected to the same Father, the Creator you are, and then you're waiting, what can I learn from this? Or what can I give them, right? Because either you're going to be the learner or you're going to be the teacher, or vice versa, both exchange, right? So success is the artful management of failures and setbacks, and this is the key to that will set. You don't quit. You don't quit. As long as you're not quitting, you're succeeding. Because as long as you keep going and have momentum. Yesterday, you know, I find reasons I should quit every day. I find reasons I should quit every day. But I don't let that, I just let it, you gotta take control of your thoughts, throw them out. So success in life does not come from holding a good hand, it comes from playing a poor hand well. And you know what? You gotta have that philosophy. Good enough is never good enough. It's the enemy of excellence. And do I have excellence in my life? Hell no, I don't have excellence in my life yet. Will I ever have excellence in my life? Hell no, I'll never have excellence in my life. Do I have excellence in my life? Yes, I have excellence in my life. Say, Fred, I think it's 68. You need to go ahead and take some time off. You're sounding weird to us. But listen to me. Listen to me, okay? Good enough is never good enough. It's the enemy of excellence. Excellence is not like success. It's not a destination point. It's a journey. It's a journey. If you would have saw me yesterday, I don't even want to tell you what I did. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed. But I'm still excellent this morning because I know who I am from the inside out. And what I did yesterday didn't matter. What I did yesterday doesn't have any, whatever I did doesn't matter upon that perfected, full, 100% human being that I am and that love that I came here with and I'm going to leave with. So good enough is never good enough. It's always the enemy of excellence. And don't tell me, oh, you don't know, Fred. Oh my gosh, I have this physical issue. I have this issue, that issue. You need to examine that life every Sunday, 30 minutes, and you need to look and then you need to set time. By the way, I kind of skipped over that time blocking. What you do is not only examine your life and you examine the time that you spent the previous week, but you then are going to set some appointments for yourself. You say, I wasn't kind to myself this week. I'm going to the beach. What day are you going to the beach? I'm going to go Wednesday morning. What time? I'm going to go 6:30. And you set an appointment for yourself. You know, I haven't shopped for new clothes in a long time. I need some, I want to feel a little bit better about myself. I'm going to go shopping this week. I'm going to do it right when everybody else is working because I can. And you set your appointment for yourself to go shopping. And then you call a friend and you say, hey, let's grab lunch that same day. So you do that every week, week in, week out. Life by the inch is a cinch. Life by the yard is hard. Time block and do that and watch what happens. You can have a poor hand that week, but because you're in control, folks, if you don't set your life, someone will set it for you. If you don't plan your calendar, someone else will plan it for you. But if you do that, you don't have to worry about whether you have a good hand or not. You will be playing that poor hand well, and none of this stuff matters anymore. Now, one of the things is I want you to remember the word cookies. How many of you here like cookies? Any of you? Any of you like cookies? Come on, man. Everybody likes cookies. Come on. We all like cookies. And there's nothing we do, feel, say, think if we're not getting cookies from it. We love the cookies. Problems is the biggest cookie provider you can imagine. Because if you have a problem, you get cookies from it all the time. And the more you own that problem, the more cookies you get. Because, see, you don't have to take responsibility for yourself if you have problems. You don't have to take responsibility for yourself if you have some physical issues. You don't have to take. So stop eating those cookies. Move beyond your problems or take those problems and turn them into something really good, learning experiences, right? And so if the problems are so big, they're mountains, learn how to go mountain climbing. Folks, that's where fun is, man. Success, the artful management of failures and setbacks. And when you realize your whole day consists of, you want to just manage some failures. You just want to manage some setbacks. So when you have them, you go, oh, good, here's an opportunity. And it's true. So remember the cookies. Say, why am I thinking this way? Why am I depressed? I'm getting a cookie out of this. What's the cookie I'm getting from this? Ask yourself, what cookie am I getting from this? When you have an argument with your significant other, your spouse or a child or whoever, and you're really upset, what cookie am I getting out of this right now? There's a cookie I'm getting. I'm not sure what it is, but there's got to be a cookie somewhere because I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be upset if I wasn't getting some kind of cookie. So challenge yourself on that because that will then move you to excellence. Good enough is never good enough. It's always the enemy of excellence. Our group, Tony and I with our group, because we do it in combination. Tony DeFalco, my nephew, my niece Angel DeFalco, and us. We have our group together, right? Our launch. We're about 380 people. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Success is not where you are. It's where you are in comparison to where you could be. Now people say, Fred, that's living with an awful lot of pressure. No, it's not. It's living with a whole lot of fun. It's living with a whole lot of fun. Success is not where you are. It's where you are in comparison to where you could have been. You always want to keep moving the goal line. You always want to keep moving it. So you keep moving. Because as soon as I sit around, then I'm going to get arrogant, right? So good enough is never good enough. It's the enemy of excellence. And, excellence is always the journey. So let's go. Let's do the, let me just see here. Oh, I want to go back to the basics a minute. We said the basics are the sphere of influence. The other basics, MLS, every morning. You've got, because you all are real estate people, you've got to know your product. You've got to have a hot sheet for your area. Your little, whether it's a 2-mile radius around your home or a 3-mile or 4-mile radius, you got to have that hot sheet every morning that comes right into your MLS, and you look at it, you study it. You study the new things that come on the market, the things that are price reduced, the things that expired, the things that sold, because that's a very basic of this industry is product knowledge. And intuitively, in a 2 or 3 or 4 month period, you're going to be an expert. You only realize, but more importantly, it always reminds you that business is never good or bad out there. It's good or bad in here because you see, no one shut off the real estate funnel. People still are buying and selling houses. So when you start to get down, you start saying, I want some of that commission. So that's a basic. The other basic is learning to work with sellers, right? And I have people that are with us for a year. And I'll say, let me see your listing kit. I'm working on that. You're working on it. 1 year, you're still working on your listing kit. Cut it out, folks. We got to quit that stuff. We got to have that will set. Okay, so they're the basics. Let's talk about the calling. What's your calling in life? Folks, we were sent here to be creators. And I don't care if you want to call it the universe. I'm comfortable with that. I don't care if you want to call it Buddha. I don't care if you want to call it Allah or whatever you want to call that life force. I'm very comfortable with that. And I honor it and I respect it. So whatever you want to call that life force, what is your highest calling from your life force? What is it? What's your highest calling? And there's 2 of them. And I learned this from Frank McKinney. You will be the same person you are today 5 years from today, except for 2 things: the people you meet and the books you read. I've read his books and I've met him and I've been to Haiti with him. It's changed my life. And I'm sure I have an impact on his. So one of the things he says, there's the professional high calling. And then there's the spiritual high calling or life high calling, whatever you're comfortable saying. So you got to know those 2. In the real estate business, I was ready to quit after about 1.5 years doing it, even though I was doing real well because something happened, got discouraged, and I wasn't reading enough. And I never forget the day that it sparked for me that real estate was such a high calling, for me at least. And I don't know. I mean, I was out working for some owners, so I did the will set. So when you do the will set, you get something back. And I'd gotten very fortunate, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I went in, I kind of stumbled over myself a little bit on this for-sale owner. He was the chief of the fire department for the city of Baltimore, not just one station or 2 states, but the entire city of Baltimore. That was like equal to a mayor, right? A mayor. And I never forget, I knocked on the door and then I was persistent and, and they gave me the listing. And it wasn't that I got the listing. I don't know what it was. That next morning, I was picking my sign up out of my yard. I still remember the feeling that came over me. And I went to put it in my car, and I went, wow, they trusted me. Wow, that's amazing. I love this. I'm a real. And I was already in the GeoAgriculture, but I stepped on the gas even more. I remember that sense, this will be my calling, that I'm in it to win it, that I got that will set, I would not quit. And CharlieTremendousJones, when I became a manager, I was doubting my thing. And so when you get rid of all your doubt and you figure out that this truly is your calling and you quit trying to treat the real estate business as a hustle and you stop treating the real estate business as maybe you can make some money, or you stop treating this real estate business as if, well, I got to, what else will I do? It won't cut it, folks. It's got to be your calling. You've got to be into getting that database of those 40 people and really caring about those 40 people and loving them and sending them gifts and really caring about their family. Watch what happens to your career when you see it as a calling. The next question I want you to challenge yourself with, and then I'm going to wrap it up here, is your highest spiritual calling or life calling or whatever you want to call it, but the bigger picture, the bigger picture. You know, I've made a decision that I want to be active in this business until I celebrate my 50th year in the business, which is 5 more years. It's just something I wanted to do, but my bigger goal is much bigger than this for myself personally, because this is, you hear me say this all the time, you've got to set a goal. You've got to set a goal so big you can't achieve it until you grow into the person who can. The problem is we're trying to grow stuff instead of ourselves. Work harder on yourself than you do anything else, and everything else takes care of itself. Work on yourself. The self-examined life is not worth, the unexamined life is not worth living. You got to get sold on yourself. And then you have to set goals so big, you can't achieve them until you become the person who can. And that has kind of been the story of my 68 years. Fortunately, I didn't end up with like so many of my peers and 2 of my own brothers. One dying in prison after 28 years. The other one having to life of alcohol and drugs and couldn't handle any more of that. He was haunted at 48 years old. Thank God I started getting around different people. Thank God I started reading. Thank God I exposed myself to realize, and I realized I was not stuck with me. That's inside out. But the main thing is, what is your life calling, your spiritual calling, your highest calling? So challenge yourself on that. Do that self-examination every Sunday, 30 minutes. And that self-examination is fun. Oh my gosh. And then you also the time planning, because you're going to block your week out. You'll block the education. You'll block other things. So, but anyway, with that, I want to open it up. I know we went a little bit longer, but let's open it up. I really enjoyed the opportunity to share it again. I know I've been away for a couple months, and plenty of opportunity with my family situations. But anyway, I'm glad to have been able to share today and spend my birthday morning with you. So let's open it up.
Frank Jr. showed me this. You talk about your highest calling. This was an amazing book. It's quick read. You could do it in a day. I gave it to my wife. You know, it's all about finding your why in this instance, but it's the same thing, you know, that you're talking about, is find out, why am I here? Why, you know, what is it that I'm here to do? Amazing stuff. I got a couple of pages of notes, phenomenal. Love the kind of the simplicity of it, but the complexity of it as well. So thank you very much. Happy birthday, my friend, and wish you many more.
You're welcome, Red. And one of the things, Red, I encourage you to do, if you enjoyed that, is to definitely go to online and look up Attitudinal Healing International and download the 12 principles of Attitudinal Healing International, because you'll love them, because it's all about reaching that why and how life is so much bigger than all of us, you know. So yeah, that was called what? The Why Cafe? The book that you just held up?
Yeah, the Why Cafe. I put it in the chat by John
Perfect.
L. Strelecki.
Cool. Great recommendation. All right. Come on, let's open it up. Hey, by the way, do you notice Pat Towns? Hey, everyone say welcome to Pat Towns. I had the privilege of working with her onboarding. She's up in Atlanta, Georgia. What a wonderful, wonderful real estate soul. She's been in how long, Pat? Have you been in?
1 week yesterday.
No, yeah, with us. Yeah, but I'm saying, how long have you been in the business?
Oh, it'll be 20 years in January.
Right. She's such a joy and delight to work with. And we've had a lot of fun setting up her world, setting up her systems. And I'll tell you what, she is right away, she invested in herself. She said, you know, I said, hey, I don't mess with KV Core. I hired out and I gave her the contact. Send me that contact. And she's got him going, right? You got Craig going, right?
Yes.
Already. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She's a delight. Good to have you, Pat. Anybody else? Open it up. George.
Fred, I got to throw it out there. It's so good to have you back. It
Thank
nourishes
you,
me when you're here, man. You're awesome. God bless you. I'm glad you're home and safe. It means a bunch to me for sure. And I missed you.
Thank you. I miss you too, man.
Yeah, right on. Oh, since we've got this little platform, Fred, there's a couple weeks in the middle of October I'm out, but if you ever want to do if we're going to do something down in South Florida, just like a group training or something, let me know. Love to swing on down and participate in any way I can to help support y'all, because I miss my peeps after just a couple days. Seeing y'all at the summit. I miss everybody already. I need friends.
Super. And then I hope you all took my email down, answers that, and some of you take me up on that challenge. I want to see your 40 sphere of influence. 40 sphere of influence. Please, I'm telling you, I just invested. Where is it? Hold on one second. I got to show them this, George. One sec. This is a company, James Becker. I mean, this guy is so impressive. And I can't tell you, I've invested a lot of money just for the team. I want to test this. He calls it building your factory, right? Building your factory. George could have done this. And what he's done, he set up an entire company called Fusion. And if anyone's interested, let me know. And basically what they do, they have a marketing department. They have a social media department. They have a database department. They have a CRM department. They have everything. They do your logo. They write your copy. They run your real estate company because they're trying to build agents, factories, and it's working like crazy. And then they take they're your partner. They get paid per deal. And they come in, they do a partnership. I did it because I said, I'll just charge more for my service. Now, a lot of you know personally, I don't pursue conventional business that much. I have the special public pricing and, pursue some of the higher, very unique properties as far as that have issues or commercial. And so it's called public pricing. But I wanted to go get my basic business together with them. And when I heard the price, because I've been around a long time, and I know I can't go hire a marketing department, a local department, database people, this, that, write my copy, interview me. I couldn't. It cost me a lot of money to do that. So I invested in it, and I'm really expecting a lot of great things from it. I have a few agents looking into it already. But the building factory, the very basic thing, your sphere of influence. And they take it from there, and they build your factory just from your 40 people. So this is 40 people. That's interesting. It's only 40 is what you need.
Hey, Fred, you brought up something that it's funny. We were talking about when you mentioned this, and it registered for me really clearly that, somebody comes up and they say, well, I'm working on my listing presentation. I don't really have it done yet. That where we haven't got started. And we always come back to database for everybody here in real estate. If you're a real estate professional, it will be a part of your business no matter what. I mean, there's just no question about it. But this really kind of, I think, goes along with your line of thinking. If you find yourself that you're one of those people that isn't really where you wanted to be, you haven't really gotten started, you haven't scheduled it, it's not something you're working on, that's totally okay. Because the underlying message as well from Fred is tomorrow is different than today. It only requires action from you. And you're going to say, now I'm going to do this. And everything is at your disposal if you want it. I'm interested in Fusion, by the way, Fred. So.
Yeah, oh my gosh! I'll introduce you to Keith Nutter. These guys they're killing it. They're so good. But anyway, George, to piggyback on that, please, everybody, you have 63 people left. Listen to me, please. You are wasting your time. You're cheating yourself, your family, anybody. If you do not get that database together, you really are, and you're cheating those people because you can deliver them good service, and they want to hear from you. People don't have enough close relationships in life. You don't need to go be buddy with them all the time and take them to dinner and all. You just be in touch. I'm telling you, it pays. If I was sitting you down and say, do me a favor, I want you to take this name down. I want you to put their name, their telephone number, and I want you to just call them and say, hi, how are you? Just checking in on you. Hope things are well. I haven't talked to you in a while. And I had $100 bills. Okay. And I every time you say, I say, okay, I'm sitting here, and I pull out a $100 bill. Here you go. I think I have one. Yep. Got that for my birthday, by the way. So send me some of these, okay? Okay. So every time I say, oh, you just did one, here you go. And then you say, oh, that was pretty good. Can I do another? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, here's another one. How long would you sit here in my office and write names and numbers down and call them? Would you spend 8 hours with me? But probably some of you probably say, hey, no, Fred, I don't want to go home. It's okay. I didn't eat dinner. Hey, I like that. Keep it up. That's what's happening when you do this. But it's even better than $100 bills. It's for the rest of your life that you're going to have a customer and you're going to have the opportunity to serve them and you're going to be their chosen realtor. At the summit, the relationship building that the one coach talked about, I mean, it's so important, so important. I mean, you know, I used to teach my agents that. That's how I developed the #1 office out of like 13 offices when I was a 26-year-old kid as a manager, is I taught that concept because I learned it from one of my mentors. He would stand there and he'd hold $50 bills out. He said, go ahead and make that call. I'm going to show you how this works. And he would say, here's $50. He wouldn't let you take it, by the way. He would put down $50 every time you made a contact or a call. And he put down another 50. And he'd stand right there and watch you make them. He said, that's what you probably just earned. Because you only need to make 10 of those, probably get one yes, and then you need maybe 4 or 5 of those, you're going to get it. And he said, and that's the kind of income you have, plus more. So we don't think we're getting paid for this stuff. You are getting paid for it. So critical, the sphere of influence. Critical. Build your factory.
Love that. All right, folks, it is 9:30. If you got something to do, go get it done. We're going to turn this into the after party. Godfather, happy birthday to you, sir. I hope you don't work till midnight tonight. That wouldn't be fair.
I don't work, George. I don't work. I create. It's a difference.
I'm sorry. You know what? I actually like that.
I think my calendar goes to about 7:30.
Really, today?
I'm disappointed that it's not booked up more. I love people like Pat Town sitting on there with me. I just love it.
Outstanding. Well, listen, Carol, you're part of the after party. Let's do this. Joe, are you on the call? Let me check this out real quick. We're going to shift this over. We'll get everything squared away. Tiff, can we stop the recording and stop